Steampunk Sports Entertainment. This is What Grinds My Gears. I'm joined by a couple of our great hosts. We got Devin A. Boosie,
Davion Buffett.
who I never say right, so I call him D. I'm a horrible person. That's on me. We shouldn't laugh about it. I should learn how to say it. But he joins us, of course, from his own Twitch page, Geekcaster. And then we got Brandon K, our basketball guy. He has picked up basketball on Streampunk Sports. He's hitting that up at least once a week on Thursdays, and he's joining us. So, D, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How's everybody else is doing?
Well, Brandon, how are you?
I'm definitely pumped for this night's episode of what grinds my gears. Yeah, we're fully repped. I'm covered by all the men, but we are fully
I
repped.
got a little pop up,
and I even have my cup.
The Dorbies. I'm not full blown like man D with the true Funkos, but I got the little Dorbies.
Yeah, you can kind of see in my background. I got a whole entire wall, perfectly organized, and Batman Pops being the most populous of my collection. So,
all right,
I do have a little bit of a bias. Yes,
we are at my house. We're a little more
teal chrome, beautiful.
Oh wow, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. My family leads a little more Marvel, except for So, when I did Spider-Man the other day, I was fully able to run, but Batman is a great one. And that's where we're going to start with old Batman, as you can see along the bottom here. And we're going to start with the NBA All-Star coverage, because as you know, we are always combining sports and the nerd world. And so broadcaster Brian, I'm going to be reading a little something here. So let me move it to, so it looks like I'm looking at the screen. Fake you guys. During the NBA All-Star coverage, broadcaster Brian Anderson appeared to be calling a regular transition to a commercial break when the video board outside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland advertised the All-Star game being shown in an assortment of clips before eventually changing to a green text saying, "Unmask the truth." Digital version of our Cape Crusader showed up on the roof with the bat signal and the ominous red sky behind him. In disbelief, Anderson goes to, "Yo, guys, you getting this from the truck? Something's happening outside. Hold up. Is that the bat signal? I think the Batman's on the roof, and I can't believe what I'm saying." So there we were in the midst of not only bringing Batman to augmented reality into advertising. I know, Brandon, you mentioned a couple other commercials you saw with Batman. So right now, this is the biggest movie, definitely biggest movie since Spider-Man. Talk to me about all these things: augmented reality and commercials, Batman crossing over every which way. We're going to hit up D first because I know Brandon has some stuff on him.
Now, just because I had brought the whole commercial, I think it was very early. It was the Knicks. This was post All-Star game. It was the Knicks. I forgot who they were even playing, but they had transitioned to a commercial promoting the new Batman movie, and it was a traditional trailer, so to speak, with all the Riddler envelopes and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden the text, and then in a background voice you hear "Bing Bong," which, if you are familiar and kind of in the social media, familiar with kind of what's been going on, you've been hearing "Bing Bong" a little bit floating around the, I'll say, goofier side of politics lately the last few months. And it's kind of been a viral hit, especially in our New York, New Jersey local area. So for them to integrate it into the commercial with the Knicks, they had RJ Barrett in there. They had these custom like Gotham City black and red jerseys. It was very well done commercial, goofy yet serious. And yeah, they augment reality, brought in Robert Pattinson, his Batman character, with RJ, and they had a little bit of a conversation. And just, yeah, everything right now is all Batman. I'm all for it.
Batman. But here's the thing. I think a lot of it's just to advertise. It's here to push. It's basically to get people revved up. It's just to basically for all the Batman fans, people that are not Batman fans, to say, yo, we have a different type of Batman. We're going to introduce them, but we're going to introduce them in a way where it's so common.
I also think that the New York Gotham ties, now that I'm thinking about it, played into it also.
Okay. And that makes sense.
I mean, I mean, Batman, even though, I mean, things get crazy, people tell you that Gotham's actually in New Jersey, per the comic books, if you go back long enough, that he's in South Jersey. But I think the general populace, when they hear Batman, Gotham, they think New York City at night. Sometimes they even think Metropolis is New York. Sometimes they go with LA. But Batman and New York are pretty synonymous in, I think, especially for the non-hardcore fans, for just those people, because everyone knows Batman. And we always talk about the dynamic duo and just about everything else we're talking about, no matter what it is. Also, there's a dynamic duo. Which one's Batman? Which one's Robin? But Batman is... I remember the first Batman movie with our boy Michael Keaton. And, that's when superheroes came to movies, although there was 4 Superman movies before that. But that's when Dark came to superheroes in the movies.
And taken seriously.
Yeah, which is where he was playing in the comics long before then, right?
Right. Detective Comics, issue 1 to what Infinity at this moment.
Right.
But me growing up as a kid, my Batman would have to be Kevin Conroy.
Okay.
Grew up watching the anime series. The anime series was like the best thing ever. He played the voice. He played. He knew how to be Bruce Wayne with the voice, and he knew how to be Batman with the voice. It wasn't like, sorry, I'm gonna have to throw somebody under a bus. One of the Batmans. Where's the drugs? Or
yes, I mean, I will agree with you. Christian Bale's Batman voice, which I think is what you were going for there, was like, like it was too rough. It was too like, what are you doing? And I don't know whose choice that was. Since he did it for 3 movies, I'm expecting it was his and not Nolan's. But yeah. But in other places, like, that's now his voice. I mean, that is the voice that people use when they say, "I'm Batman." Like, that's where people come from, and it's not like Michael Keaton didn't say, "I'm the Batman." It's not like that's a new line, but that's how we say it. So good for my tongue getting tied here. Good for him in getting that out, but yeah. I agree with you, D. That was a little too over the top. Brandon, who are you going to go?
I was gonna say Ben Affleck does the same thing. It's like gargling nails, gargling ninja stars. It's rough, and I think there are actors, whether it be both in any version of animated Batman and live action Batman, some actors have done a better job in being able to be Bruce Wayne and be Batman, because there are ones that have been one and sort of kind of lacked in the other. But then there were guys like Conroy, again, doesn't matter if it's live action or animated, that were able to nail both parts very, very well.
Right.
Yeah, so you had something to say there.
Yeah, because Ben Affleck to me was, I think not only that, you had to look at him doing Daredevil. It did how he doesn't fit the superhero type trope actor. He's more the guy that sits on the couch and asks for, "Oh, guys, you're smoking weed. Oh, yeah, I'm going to basically smoke weed with y'all." Or, "Hey, guys, I can't be taken serious." And then when he gets the older look, it's like, yeah, in my times. Yeah. But him playing Batman, it was like, it's like you could have called Christian Bale back. I would have been okay with that. But due to the issues with Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale, because of whatever the issues were with Warner Brothers, they casted Ben Affleck. And I'm like, it's other people. It's other actors you can use besides.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm going to go against the grain. I really was impressed with Ben in his Batman. I thought in the movies he was in as Batman, especially compared to Superman, he did a much better job. I thought he stole the role. I have problems with Superman the actor. I think he's both of them, by the way, are super stiff. Ben and Superman are very stiff as actors, which works in some roles and hurts in other roles. Like he killed it in The Accountant, Ben Affleck, and
Mhm.
man, me and names right now are killing me, but he kills it in The Witcher. Oh, fuck, he's perfect. He's perfect in The Witcher, but I thought I was happy with Ben. I'm not going to say he was my favorite at all. I think overall, doing both roles, I'm going to go with Christian. Although Kevin Conroy was just, you're right. He stole the show in the animated series. The nice thing about an animated series is it's like, an actor isn't working out. Quickly, you can replace him without everyone fully noticing, especially in the 90s when that show was out, because nobody did not necessarily know who was behind the scenes. I think we've had this conversation before. I know I have faith after seeing Tenet that Pattinson is going to pull off Batman. Where are you guys standing on Pattinson pulling off Batman?
I saw Tenet, yes, but here's the other kicker. I have to experience it. I have to have my opinions. I have to watch it and get a clear understanding. Can he be Bruce? Can he be Batman? Because Michael Keaton could do both. Kevin Conroy could do both. Those are the only two I could actually see pulling it off. Maybe a younger version of Bruce and younger version of Batman starting out. Let's wait and see when the movie comes out.
I remember when all of this Batman news was first coming out in terms of casting and just being produced in general, and they had pretty much confirmed Pattinson being the role. And at first, I was like, I was not really happy with it at all, just because I can't get the whole Twilight thing out of my head.
Exactly. Yes.
And the more, now that we're really at the point of release. It's been basically like almost 3 years now since the news had first come out. I've warmed up to him being Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm worried if it's just he is gonna be, not him acting is gonna be stiff, but the character is gonna be stiff. More Bruce Wayne is gonna be stiff. And I get it's kind of like an semi origins story. It's more of like a beginnings story. So I just hope it's not so stiff in that sense. But other than that, I think he'll do a pretty damn good job.
Well, this is the problem with Batman and Bruce Wayne. You need to go from Batman is a stiff character, which is why I think Ben did a good job of it. But Bruce should be a relaxed, suave, debonair, emoting character, hiding his pain. Right? That's who he's doing. He's out there hiding his pain on that side. Now that where I'm worried is in the trailer, in the scenes that he looks like he's Bruce, he still looks really dark. So we'll see what it does, how the movie decides to do it, how it's going to play with light and dark with that. That's a lot about why directing a Batman movie is so hard. But like I said, I was stuck in this is the shiny vampire dude. Right, I haven't seen him since he said I shine in. I was like, all right, I'm not watching any more of these movies. And he did the Harry Potter movie before, but I what else he did, and that's why I said
that's right.
When I saw him do Tenet, he did do a debonair kind of character a little bit, and that's what gave me faith that he can do that. So I mean, because Val Kilmer, I think, did an amazing Bruce Wayne, but he couldn't be stiff enough to be Batman. Right? He was the exact opposite. I got Wayne down, but I can't get stiff enough. So we will see, because we have seen him play stiff, because that's what that vampire was, if he could do it. But we're going to take a moment to get away from Batman the character, and we're going to discuss Batman the ball players in general, as we're going to give our sports side its due and discuss the unfortunate situation that is baseball. It's not being played. As of 7 o'clock was the last time I looked. There was no deal reached. There's an artificial...
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, there's an artificial deadline put in by the owners. They say if they don't reach a deal by midnight tonight, they're canceling a month of the season. Of course, that's like me telling my kid, if you don't do something by midnight today, I'm not giving you your allowance. I can go change my mind whenever I want on that. So I'm going to lead off with you on this, Brandon. Where do you see baseball pulling this out? Is there any chance today, in time for any reasonable person to consider a whole season? What are you looking at?
I mean, we're really look. This is the last day of February. We're going to go into March. There's nothing happening today. It's almost 7:30. There is nothing happening today, and if there is, it'll be something just to be like, here you go, just to kind of make us happy, or it'll be something that ends up being, oh no, we're gonna backtrack on it. We gotta revisit this, whatever, and then we're gonna be back to square one or two. So I'm absolutely expecting games to be pushed back. Whether we get, if you take a month out, so that's about 20 games for each team. So that brings us down to about 142, 140. That's I mean, especially compared to a 60 game season. Yes, that was for COVID, but just in terms of games, sufficient amount of games to actually have a worthwhile season. 142 games is plenty, but this whole smoke show of pretending like they don't care, or maybe they don't care. Some guys probably don't care, to be quite honest with you, as long as they're making some type of bank on this. But in terms of everybody else, this whole domino effect, it's really so infuriating. And you hear these guys that don't even want to sit down long enough to watch a show on Netflix. I mean, they can't even sit down together and talk like that. Like, it's childish at this point. It is actually childish. And I get that there are really, legalities and hurdles that they have to go through and stuff like that. So it gets messy, but the attitude about it and the way the demeanor is between mainly the owners is really disgusting. And I'm really just, I've had it.
I have a question. Regards to that, do you think the players are being affected by this, or they just say, "Hey, whatever is what, I'm still getting a paycheck"?
The top guys right now aren't affected. Mm-hmm. If they even if a year or so, top guys are not going to be affected. Baseball, you get every single penny. Doesn't matter what happens to you, length of your contract. It's what happens to all these other guys, the 95% of guys that really would have to look elsewhere, or because this is on top of, we're not out of the pandemic, so we're really, you're battling two things, and it's just and really the whole, you don't even want to sit down and talk like adults, and that's really what it is.
To that point, I'm going to throw this question to D, who's not the big baseball fan, but is a human who lives in the world, has a job, sees what's around him. I happen to agree with this tweet that was taken down by Bueller, one of the ball players, who's also a very highly played ball player by that standard. But I happen to agree with him on this opinion that he wrote.
You're talking Walker Bueller?
Where you're coming from, D. He wrote, "This isn't millionaires versus billionaires. This is workers versus owners. The value is subjective. We are extremely lucky to do what we do, but the numbers don't line up. I appreciate the fans getting where we are coming from, truly." So that last sentence a lot, he's just, saying, hey, the fans are obviously rooting for me. But the other part, that really sat with me, just as a human being making a living. D, where are you on all of this? As less of a fan and more of a person.
Like, to be honest with you, that's how it is on everyday society. Like, something happens within the office place, something happens within corporate, it does affect the little people. Like, people that actually is busting their butts trying to make your company be valuable and profit. You're basically profiting off of little people. So when things hit the, goes out of whack because somebody finally make a stand, without the little people, it's like your money goes down.
It's all relative. It doesn't matter the size of the business. There are little people in a business and there are big people in a business.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like
On
you
top
see
of
this,
just on top of how many people are involved in the business.
Right.
It's all relative. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
and then who are the faces of the business versus who gets paid for this? One of the things that gets to me. And then I'm going to change the subject to something less intense. But if you go to a retail store and you get bad service, you're going to be angry at somebody making minimum to $15 an hour, probably enforcing policies made by somebody making 12 to 15, no, those aren't good range.
Yeah.
$100,000 to $500,000 a year, and you're
Right.
going to get angry at the person making minimum wage to $15
Right.
an hour, and in baseball, there are these guys who it feels like the players are fighting for. Those guys who just get a cup of coffee, as we like to say, and they never get a chance to make any money. And then there's the other guys that they're fighting for because this middle range team players are really like, if after 6 or 7 years you're not one of the best players, you're like, we'll replace you with somebody younger and see if he's gonna pan out.
So you'll be a bitch warmer throughout the whole entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, and
So-
they've gotten to the point where the league is all well and good with pretty much getting rid of like half of the minor league system. Just getting rid of the teams, which means what are these all guys that are playing for a couple $100 a week, a couple $1,000 a month? Now that they got to go get real jobs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just this whole. But like
It's this whole politics.
it's all part of your product, and it's not like this is the NBA especially, or even the NFL where it's high school, college, you're in that you're at the show. This baseball is the pun intended. It's the grind with these sports.
Yeah.
So to only reward the top the top percentage of it, you're forgetting about your whole base of your structure. Your foundation is being ripped apart, and you're only worried about that top piece that everybody, for the most part, is looking at.
Right. So those guys who are dreaming big, who never make it anywhere, we're kind of forgetting of. And speaking of dreaming, I'm going to throw out my first of all, probably my favorite baseball movie of all time, but it's close. Field of Dreams.
I was thinking about that.
Baseball just makes good movies. The slowness of the game makes for the drama of the movies. So it kind of works well. D, you jumped in on Field of Dreams. So we're going to go to Brandon. Your favorite baseball movie?
For me, I think based on kind of just age and just sense of humor and just kind of family and just fun, I got to go Sandlot.
Okay.
That's
really
yeah.
Field of Dreams is not my favorite film. But Field of Dreams is not my number one film.
Right.
But I will go with this film because I watched this religiously as a kid. Rookie of the Year.
That's not one I would have put up there in my group. I mean, I love The Sandlot. I love Field of Dreams. Rookie of the Year, never, did not get into my rotation. I think mostly, though, we're showing a difference in generation on that, though.
Right.
Well, I was I'm gonna kind of upgrade my answer. I'll say that from more of a nostalgic standpoint. Now that I've gotten older and really kind of reevaluated what cinema is and stuff like sports movies, I got to go 8 Men Out, about the Black Sox scandal that I was thinking it was 88, 89.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
Fantastic movie.
And so, yeah, I mean, I have a list here of some great ones, and that one's included. The one that gets me as a movie is the love story that is Bull Durham. You got a buddy movie and a love story movie combined. They did a great job of bringing that story together. And, of course, Close Your Eyes and Breathe Out Your Eyes. It's just great. That's one of my favorite as a movie. Top 1 and 2, apparently the same guy, Kevin Costner, is carrying those two. So, yeah.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams and Bull Durham.
Yep.
Those are my two. With The Sandlot, just is so much fun. It was just such a fun movie.
42. Is it 42? Yeah, 42 with the
Yep.
late Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that was somehow it's so biopic. I forget it's a baseball movie. Makes sense. Like sometimes
Right.
when a biopic, like Ali, that doesn't seem like a boxing movie to me, but it's a boxing movie because it's about a boxer. Like sometimes those biopics fade from the subject of what the person did to the person in my mind. Because you're right, not to say 42 was a great movie. It was an important subject. It was a subject I studied a lot of, read multiple books on when I was in college and taking history as a major. And they stuck very true to a lot of the important facts. So it wasn't overly dramatized. I mean, it's a movie, but the key important facts were so right on. The relationship between Branch Rickey and Jackie was done really well, was the way I always felt it went in my reading of it. Same with the Pee Wee Reese moment. I mean, it was great. It was obviously it's a super dramatic story, so it's easy to make dramatic. But they didn't have to make stuff up or change timelines, like a music movie biopic. Like you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, and that Queen never broke up. They were on tour right before they went on that. Come on now. Like, that's not what happened. You just threw in the important things you do to make it a movie. But they didn't have to do that with 42. And that really made it a fantastic show.
What's another movie? I know Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, just thinking about it in general, I forgot how many baseball movies there are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, there's so many.
Let me
Bad
just
News
give you...
Bears.
The Bad News Bears, not on the list by here's the list our producer gave. Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, For Love of the Game, Fastball, The Upside of Anger, The Rookie, as opposed to Rookie of the Year, A League of Their Own, which we have not.
I was going to say, does that include A League of Their Own? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pride of the Yankees, 8 Men Out, Moneyball, The Natural, The Sandlot, Everybody Wants Some, and one of my favorite sports comedies of all time, number 2 behind Caddyshack, Major League.
Yes. I think that was Wesley Snipes' debut.
I don't know if it was his debut, but it was certainly early, and it was before he went on to do bigger things, and that's why they made fun of the character when he wouldn't, run like Mays, hit like Hayes.
It was so many good sports films, like not just in baseball, football, the whole 9 yards. And then you had and UFC fight movies. They had some good UFC fight movies, but they didn't push it as hard as they did as far as the majors like baseball, basketball, football, golf, tennis.
We don't have enough golf movies.
Happy Gilmore is one.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Happy, you got your Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore. The horror that is The Legend of Beggar Vance.
What was the one with Shia LaBeouf? Greatest game ever played. I think it was I think it was about Ben Hogan. Oh no, maybe not Ben Hogan. It was somebody else.
No, I think you're right. I think it's about. I don't remember the name of it, but I think he did a movie about Ben Hogan.
Yeah, that was years ago. But I can't think of any other real golf movies.
Caddyshack 2.
Okay, you got your franchise. I think we're gonna get a Tiger Woods story soon.
I don't know how soon, but I would be shocked if there's.
I think we are. No, I really think we're gonna get one.
We probably will, but I can't get the Dave Chappelle give it 10 Cup. Oh, did you guys mention 10 Cup?
No.
But I keep keeping that Dave Chappelle moment where he kept doing the impression of Tiger Woods. I'm not doing it
always nails impressions.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Google that.
Oh God, just thinking about it was like
kids.
Oh God, but back to bat baseball.
Yeah. So I mean, baseball movies, sports movie. I mean, I can go. Sports movies in and of themselves is a topic for a whole show.
Yeah.
But
And this doesn't even include Miracle as a hockey movie. So we're
Correct.
just, I mean,
The Mighty Ducks is a hockey movie.
Yes.
By the way, we didn't just we talked football movies. We didn't talk Remember the Titans, my favorite football movie.
Oh yes.
With all due respect to the original Brian song, although that one's more of one of those biopic movies.
Rudy,
that just happens to be about
Rudy.
Rudy. And Every Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday.
The one where LL Cool J and what's his name? Jamie Foxx almost got into a heated fight on set.
That was Any Given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
That's our boy. That's our boy Scott. Didn't realize who had given us a comment, but let me tell you, getting back to Batman. For those of you who don't know, one of Scott's biggest roles is in the huge melee fight in Batman.
Yeah, we have some Batman alumni on this.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was in The Dark Knight Rises, and you get to see his Tookus quite well next to Christian and Hardy. So I always like to point that out to my kids when we watch that. But speaking of Batman, and I'm going to go over to my 76ers because the debate has been who's Batman, who's Robin on that team. So I'll hear what you have to say first, Brandon, and then I will give my definitive answer on who's Batman and who's Robin on the new look 76ers.
So I think just based on having the two of them together as a duo, I think it's a little early to set in stone which player is which character. I just, I want to give it to Embiid being Batman. He's the 10-year guy on the team. He is the 76ers. He is the process. So it kind of in seniority aspect, I would say Embiid is going to be Batman. But depending on how their actual gameplay plays out and the way their offense is being run, I can see him being Robin, but it might be a kind of a Batman, semi-Batman or trying to think anybody.
I'm going to help you out.
More of a Nightwing or something like that.
I'm going to help you out because the problem here is that it's a trick question. It's much more complicated than that. Harden is the brains of the operation. Definitely Batman. But Embiid ain't Robin. No, he's Superman. And Maxey is Robin. See, they got that beautiful Batman and Robin backfield with Superman and throw in the rest of the Justice League wherever you want. D?
Now, if you want to say Batman and the family,
there you got that too.
Batman, you have Robin, you have Red Hood, and you have
Nightwing.
What, Nightwing?
You have Nightwing.
And I think Tim Drake be another, what is his name? Hawk something?
Obviously, Ben Simmons is Damian. We shipped him away. We couldn't turn him. couldn't keep the bad down, so I had to ship him out.
Yeah. We sent him to Raj Al Ghul and his magic potions and Kyrie. I'm doing my research on this vaccine. Please. I just honestly, just being in New York and the thought of having both Ben Simmons and Kyrie is just really mind-boggling to me.
Look,
I was shocked that they got rid of Harden.
I was surprised too. I mean, I will say this. I understand why, because the reality is they had all that offense and no defense. And here was a guy who could play the heck out of defense and distribute the ball to the two scorers. So it made sense for them to want Simmons. But to Brandon's point, I don't know Simmons' true mental health. If I take him at his word, how well will he be able to keep his mental health up? And I honestly, watching Kyrie for years, there are questions, where's his ticker at? Where's his brain at? Is it just that he's interested in a lot of other important things? Or is it that he can't stay focused on basketball? That's a lot for a basically rookie coach who has never really won anything, and Durant, who even when he was in Golden State wasn't the team manager. That was what's his face, Green, to keep that team together. So it's going to be a lot of work to see if they can come together. I'm interested, and I am, as a Sixer fan, scared of what we gave them in Simmons, because if he doesn't have to score, he's spectacular. But as a Sixer fan, it's been 2 games, trying not to get too high on my horse. But boy, the ball was moving well. Everybody was involved in the offense. When your problem is making Tobias Harris better, that's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think just Harden's demeanor coming in and out of Brooklyn, and even going back to Houston, I can't get past. You first off, you look slim as hell now, James. That's real damn convenient.
Hey.
Looking like Colin Farrell's penguin up in Brooklyn, and then you slim down in your nice new Philly #1 jersey.
And now here's one of those things that, like, look, you can never get into the head of a person unless they come out and say it. Rumor was when he was trying to get out of Houston, he really wanted to go to the Sixers then. Maybe he just likes working with Daryl Morey. I mean, that is a legitimate possibility. Which in another field without contracts, if your boss goes and you like your boss, you can follow your boss. On the other hand, you're not getting paid millions and millions of dollars and have contracts and the pros and cons to signing a contract, right? But that is one of those things where I wonder how much that's the rumors. He really wanted to get to the Sixers. He really wanted to work with Morey. But boy, I do hear you. He did it in a way that wasn't the best. And let's not forget, he got himself taken out of Oklahoma City when that was going to be the team to beat for years. And then they had to tear it down because he didn't stay.
Look, I switched GameStop locations when I used to work there because the manager relocated. So I would absolutely buy the fact that Daryl Morey coming from Houston to Philly would be a motivation for James Harden to go there. It's just, again, the process in which you did.
Agreed. So now,
I gotta tell you, first, just back to the whole thing. If I'm Kevin Durant, now I got Kyrie and Ben Simmons. At those burner accounts, let's keep an eye out for those. Those are pretty damn soon.
So,
Can I do it?
I'll give you a second. Let me do the segue. Because we're talking about Batman, we get to talk about Bruce Buffer and his brother Michael. So, Dean, which one are you doing? And go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Very nice. Very nice. Because we are going to talk about these two brothers because it's time! Don't got these boys. I admit it. Brandon, which one of these guys do you prefer? And have you heard the story of how they found out they were brothers?
Yeah, I actually, believe it or not, I saw a video, a TikTok. I went down the TikTok rabbit hole of videos not too long ago, and if I had to pick one, I think I'm gonna go Bruce.
You're gonna go with Bruce.
Yep.
It's time over Michael. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. I just think there's just more of a grit and an attitude and this badassery that I like. And but Michael is more of a kind of like a classier in that sense. But just personally, I'm more with that kind of grit. Yeah.
I like Let's Get Ready to Rumble more than I like It's Time. But the finger roll on the It's Time is better than the leaning back. And there's so much to both. There's so much to both of what they do. I think it's great. But yeah, I'm going to go with a slight edge to Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Maybe even just because it's older. It's older. But they both get paid just to say those few words. It's crazy. You know, it's like the guy who used to say, it's great, Tony the Tiger. Sometimes you just find that niche, and you may not be the world's richest man, but you are wealthy and you got a nice, easy, repeatable job. It's not always people who get that.
Right.
Yeah, the way I look at it, they're both like the legends and the two icons in that realm. But looking at them, I see Michael more like the Beatles, and Bruce is more like the Rolling Stones. And to me, they're just just a little bit cooler.
I'm going to take a moment here to remind everyone you can find us on Streampunk Sports Entertainment on Twitter, Streampunk Sports on Twitch, Tales from the Film Set on Twitch, Tales from the Film Set on YouTube. We are all over the place with all our different names, but it's really Streampunk Sports and Tales from the Film Set on all of our things. And go ahead, like, subscribe, press the bell so you get the things. And speaking of that, I just want to take a moment to go a little, like they say, inside baseball since we're doing Batman. Is it true that you have started this is for you, Brandon. Is it true you have started the Streampunk Entertainment TikTok?
Yes, I do have the page is live, so you can go at Streampunk Entertainment ENT on TikTok. No content yet, but that will be coming within the next probably day or two. I'll have a first couple of videos out there, and we'll just keep it updated with all the sports and pop culture across all of our platforms, and just another form of social media to add to our repertoire of accessibility. So
since this show is Grind Your Gears, I know we've talked a lot about some positive things. I'm very happy and proud of us for doing that. But let's talk about something that grinds our gears. Let's go the opposite. Let's talk about some of these great Batman actors, and I think we've done a little bit already with it, on what role they picked up. That was a mistake. Why did you do that role? I mean, for George Clooney, I think the role is Batman. So I'm going to not go with George Clooney, but I'm going to start off here with the great Michael Keaton, who has an array of films. What roles are we unimpressed with from Michael Keaton?
None. He's legitimately my favorite actor of all time. So I'm going to be biased against him.
Okay.
Or second favorite.
Now, if you're talking about other performers in that particular film, we could basically bring that up.
Well, obviously you have something you want to say, so please grind your gears a little bit, my man.
They call me Gold. Arnold Schwarzenegger, why? Out of all people, as Mr. Freeze.
Casting still still rattles in my mind to this day.
Okay, so I'm about to make a hard left turn here since we're talking Arnie.
Yeah.
I just saw that they're doing a live action adult Fairly Odd Parents. I don't know if you guys
I saw
they made a few years back with Drake Bell, they did a Fairly Odd Parents live movie, and I just don't know why you didn't get Schwarzenegger to play the role that you wrote based on Schwarzenegger for the character's name when he played the head of the fairies. Like, that was Schwarzenegger. You couldn't suck up the money, Nickelodeon, to get Schwarzenegger to play himself. I was very disappointed in that. Sorry for that left turn, but I see both you guys were Fairly Odd Parents fans growing up.
Yeah, no, I loved Fairly Odd Parents. Timmy's like a brother to me. But
Timmy Turner.
Nick, they got to stop with this shit. Stop! You got to stop, man. You're really hurting us.
You're hurting our childhood.
We want to continue to support you, but I can't sit there in good conscience and in the future show my damn kids this. No, I can't do it.
Come on, say it.
I can't do it.
Say it.
I'm gonna end up. They're gonna end up having the same childhood as I had.
You're trying to prevent that.
Yes, we're trying to be progressive. We're trying to be better and upgrade. No, I don't want. I don't know. I don't want my kid to have the same life as me.
Okay,
That's
so I
what
mean,
they're
so
doing. But that's what they're
I,
doing.
I was watching that, by the way, as your parent. Like I was the parent watching Fairly Odd Parents. I was not the kid. But I digress. So we handled that. We all love Michael Keaton. I would have just picked Duplicity just because it wasn't one of my favorite movies.
No, it was unique.
What?
Duplicity was unique in a sense.
Like I said, I mean, you're right. It's hard to pick a really bad role for Michael Keaton. Although our producer did go with Jack Frost. I don't even remember that movie.
I don't think that was bad either.
Okay. All right.
No. Nah, Jack Frost was aight.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It was
It
aight.
it was tolerable.
Okay. I know.
Cup of cocoa.
I know he hasn't had like the size of career of, let's say, a Michael Keaton, much younger actor. Do we have a role that Christian Bale took that we really just wish he'd never taken?
No. I can't think of, from Equilibrium to American Psycho.
No, Psycho is great. Bale is solid as hell. I'm trying to go through all of his stuff to see if I can even pick something that would be like, nah, he was kind of bad in. I can't think of anything. I can't pick something out, man. He's solid. I honestly, we got to go Daredevil. We got to go back to Daredevil.
Like I just said, Ben Affleck, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Christian Bale was in Daredevil?
No. We're just saying. You're saying we were taking Batman actors. Out of all of them, their worst. It's Daredevil.
Oh, come on. If you think Daredevil was the worst thing that Ben Affleck did, you're just forgetting about like Jesus.
No,
Ben Affleck is probably the most inconsistent actor who can still call himself an A-list actor. There's just crap. Wait, he did that? That was amazing. And what is that piece of garbage? What the hell is going on? Obviously, he's got drinking problems. He's so inconsistent.
The funniest thing ever that Family Guy did was basically show the skit of Ben Affleck and what's his close friend?
Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon doing all the work, doing the script, and Ben Affleck said one thing, and that was it, and he got credit for it, Phil.
That is conceivable.
You know what? No, you know what? No. If it could be Pearl Harbor. That was terrible.
Yeah. Pearl Harbor was terrible.
See, I think that was one of his really good movies.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a movie or really I don't know. If I like a movie, I like it. If I like an actor, I like an actor.
Okay,
so I don't know.
I am going to go back to Christian Bale for a minute because we did not mention this, and because when this movie first came out, my buddy described, and this is a movie I like, by the way. I think he does a great job in it. And I'm talking about this movie with my friend at lunch, and the other guy's like, I never heard of this movie. What are you talking about? What is this movie? See if you know what movie I'm talking about. Batman and Wolverine do magic.
Oh, okay. I know.
The Prestige.
It just came out somewhat. It recently came out.
No, it's an older one. It was 2006, The Prestige. So Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, they're competing magicians. It's a good movie. Especially if you like magic, I suggest you go see it, but that's how my buddy described it to the other dude at the lunch table. Imagine if Batman and Wolverine were magicians. All right, that joke or that moment failed. I apologize.
No. It didn't. It's just that it was like, okay, because I guess that's one of the films that fell off our radar. Because we probably saw the trailer and we're like, okay, what the heck is this?
Right,
without giving it a chance.
Yeah, I mean, and I watched it because it was a magic movie, and there was two magic movies at the same time, which was kind of weird. I can't remember the other one. by name and who was in it, but it was another bigger actor, and it was these two magic movies simultaneously. But yeah, Nick, they have a role. Nikola Tesla plays a part in it. It's a good.
Yeah, David Bowie
movie.
plays that role.
Yeah.
Yes, David Bowie plays Nikola Tesla in that movie. Absolutely, Michael Caine's in it. So lots of good stuff in that movie.
Let's talk about Val Kilmer.
Let's talk about Val.
Yeah, we haven't brought him up. We're not going to let him
get away with this.
Get the pass. Nah, get a
Let's
pass. No,
talk
no,
about
no,
the
no.
Iceman. He's another guy who, like, there was a movie. I don't know the name of the movie, but he ends up on the Indian reservation. That movie always bothered me. I'm gonna have to go to his IMDb page to get all of them. But Val Kilmer is a guy who, like, his highs were so high. But I heard that he was one of those folks who might have been hard to work with. Although Tom was very excited and insisted on having him back for Top Gun 2. So I don't know how true that is. Look, I'm not even on his IMDb page, but right now all I can think of is the movies of him that I love. The Doors.
That's still his best role.
Yeah, his job is Jim Morrison.
As Jim Morrison, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of these movies I do remember seeing, and they weren't bad. They were really good.
Real Genius was one of my absolute Real Genius in Top Gun when he first started out. Loved him. He became one of my early favorite actors. He did Willow. He was in True Romance. Totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to see what's. Oh boy, he was in Knight Rider, the reboot series. That was that was the worst thing he ever did. He was the voice of Kit, but that show was horrific. And 18 episodes they got when they rebooted that. That's impressive.
I don't know. I'm not a big overall Kilmer guy.
Yeah, it's like he's okay. I'm not saying he's bad. He's just okay.
I don't know.
Now George Clooney is even harder because it's like
Batman is that role. Like, Batman is the really bad role he did.
Yeah, because you look at all these actors that play Batman, and you're looking at all their credentials, and you're like, well, except for Ben Affleck with the Daredevil.
Yeah. I mean,
but that was one. But everybody else is like, yo, you had some memorable films. Like, your films was fire. Like, some of the films that you was in was really good.
Hey.
Plus, every woman wants him.
Paycheck was good. Argo was good. I mean, I can go. The Asteroid movie where Bruce Willis dies because Bruce Willis always dies. That was another good one. Like, that has a good repertoire. He just
the Ocean series is a classic.
But the flip side is he's got Gigi and he's got
Daredevil.
Like, it just anchors on his career. You know,
he's got that nice Nespresso commercial.
Hey.
George Clooney is an Nespresso commercial. That's where he goes to. I mean, it's hard for me to think of.
Try my espresso. It'll pick you up.
Yeah, he's like in France at like this side street cafe. Like, all right, George Clooney, that's realistic.
Look, I honestly can't think of anything George Clooney did. So, there is a suggestion here. Return of the Killer Tomatoes he was in, but still, to me, it's just like.
Wasn't he in that movie a few years ago? Like, Tomorrowland? It was like that futuristic movie.
Ooh, he was in that. That was a bomb. He was in that with
bunch of kids.
With bunch of kids and Oprah. Oprah and Clooney in this movie still couldn't survive. That is a bad one he did.
Yeah,
that's
who the fuck put Oprah and George Clooney in a movie together about this space park and thought it was supposed to be good?
You know what? They was like, okay, we could get the housewives to come in to watch the movie, and we can get the women that are attracted to George Clooney to come see the movie. and
Great.
bring
So
the
they
kids.
bombed at the box office
They
because
overlap.
they only sold tickets at 1:00 in the afternoon. That's why they bombed.
And we thought we was gonna make millions because we had the housewives that liked two of them.
Leatherheads was a pretty unimpressive movie for him.
I don't think I've ever seen Oprah after the sun went down. Like really, Oprah is just synonymous with the daytime, and that's just not it. That's it.
The only good film I would say Oprah did and she was in was it The Color Purple?
Color Purple, yeah, that was a good.
That was the only performance I'll say Oprah did.
I think she won something for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won a television show, which she turned into a network, she won all,
which is a magazine, which is a OWN, which is a book club, the most famous goddamn book club in the whole world.
Yeah, then she got everybody that was in the studio a car.
You get
Wish
a car.
I was that person. Man. You get a
car. Everybody gets a car. Ellen, good luck following this.
Oh God, this is great. And Ellen with her weird.
Back to Clooney, who one of the most famous actors in the world, and you can't name one movie off of your head that he's been in.
That's bad. I mean, that's bad. I mean, I'm telling you, like that's why for me, Clooney is weird because when I think of what did Clooney do that he never should have done, what was that bad movie choice he made? It was Batman, and he said he learned from it.
Which one was the one with bat nipples?
Clooney.
Yeah,
it was bat
nipples.
Bat nipples.
That's why I'm like, which was the bad choice he made? That was it.
Oh God! And they had a female in the film. And you had a female in the movie.
I think it would have done better if it was in 3D.
No. Oh, Lord. Ah.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she was in The Butler, but that was like a bit role, it looks like. She was in B Movie as a bit role.
Who?
Oprah.
Herman?
Oprah.
No, Oprah. Or Oprah. She was in B Movie.
Yeah. B Movie was good.
B Movie was good.
I mean, I just don't think she does. I think she won what she won with The Color Purple and said, I'm not acting anymore.
It's like she's only like Daniel Day-Lewis. She'll do one role every 6 years.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And she'll just give it her all.
But that's what happens when
I'm going to do it.
That's what happens when you own the network.
We're going to do it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got left on my sheet of stuff. I think we've discussed most of what we had planned. I mean, Pattinson doesn't have enough stuff. Oh, what did Adam West do that was horrible? But Adam West is an actor from a different age where you did a show like he did, and then you're like, I'm done. Meanwhile, Ted Danson's on like his 5th sitcom. Like I see Ted Danson's on the show The Mayor. Like Ted Danson was on the #1 show, and then he had more shows like that. That was I used to be unheard of. Like I did what I did, and now I'm done. Like I'll go to movies or not. But Adam West was at a different time. You did your one show. You wrote it as long as you could, and you said, for the most part, thank you very much, and I'm good.
And played the role of Batman till his very last days.
Yes.
No, and then works at Family Guy and becomes the mayor.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all right. So I got one last topic to cover. So to me, wrestlers obviously turn into the best actors. It's literally you're acting and then you're acting in film. Pretty good, easy. We've seen some pretty good football players do it. Fred Dwyer, for one. Alex Karras was a good football player who became a good actor. Bubba Smith.
Terry Crews.
Professional baseball players. I did not think of any who became good actors, but our producer did, of course, because our producer is fantastic. Thank you, Robin, as always. She did put me a little bit to shame. She came up with one baseball player who was a fantastic actor, and a couple of other folks who had some baseball background who did some acting. So who do you guys, when you hear baseball, is there anyone that comes to your mind as an actor? I mean, to me, it's Kevin Costner. He wasn't an actor. He just was in baseball movies. Anything for any of you guys?
Wasn't Derek Jeter playing baseball?
Yeah, he had a
in the movie?
couple. Yeah, Didn't
He had a
Mark
couple
Wahlberg
cameos.
shot him in the other guys? He shot Jeter in the
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah, a couple of cameos.
Cameos,
Nothing
but
wrong
not.
with
But
that.
not. I'm trying to think. Baseball is so hard, though.
Okay, I got somebody, but you might as well call him the do it all of all do it alls.
Give it a shot.
Michael Jordan.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Do it all. He did lead a movie that was so good they made a sequel. I got to give him that. But that was
it didn't
not
have
the
him
guy-
in it.
What?
But it didn't have him in it. They had the other Michael Jordan.
Well, because the other Michael Jordan's a very good actor, and the original Michael Jordan was a really good basketball player, good enough to be a minor league baseball player, and so far a respectable owner. So no, Mr. Baseball himself, of course, Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that who of course is probably about 10, 15 years ahead of you guys. I mean, he did his commercials in Major League, but that's it. And then Kurt Russell was a minor league baseball player for the Angels. And the last name I'm going to say before I hand it over for you guys to remind people where they can find you is Chuck Connors, who was in the Rifleman. Again, this was he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 49. He played in the NBA from 47 and 48. So, and that's a real jack of all trades, Chuck Connors, the Rifleman. So with that, I'll start with you, Brandon. Where can we find you for the rest of the week?
So to whatever's today, Monday. So tomorrow, if we on our episode of Sports Den, you'll catch me there. And then I'm going to be doing a little bit of a biased basketball game, my Miami Heat and the Bucks Wednesday night. And then grind our gears again Friday.
Wonderful. Gee, I know you got more than just Stream Punk Entertainment, but give it to us all. You're here. You're with us. Give us everything you got so we can find you.
All right, so I'll be on Keycaster on Wednesday at 6:00. We have switched the time to 6 to 8. And also I'm going to be on, what is it? Tales from the Film Set.
Nice.
At 5.
At
on
5.
Thursday.
On Thursday. Excellent. Oh, your live stream. What are you guys streaming? Do you know yet?
Who?
Yeah. What are you guys going to be watching?
Oh, that's a good question. We still talking about it. So we'll basically I think it was something. We did say we'll stream something.
Another Oscar nominated.
Who knows
film?
what it could be?
Yeah, it's Oscar nominated.
All right. So that's what I thought. These guys have jumped on. They moved from the best streaming sci-fi and fantasy and comic stuff. Now they're doing highbrow stuff, getting themselves into some Oscar-nominated stuff until I believe it was Obi-Wan Kenobi comes on. I could be wrong, but I thought that was the plan there.
Because last week we was watching.
I feel so far away still, Obi-Wan. Ugh.
It is.
But it's gonna come by like that, just like Batman did. So.
But isn't there other streaming series coming out?
I don't know. I wanted you guys. My opinion was that you guys should do
Halo.
No.
Nah.
I really love Critical Role. which of course is a streaming show that they turned into a television show, and how crazy it would be for you guys to stream the television show from the streaming show, Vox Machina. But that's another story altogether. I myself am going to be hard to find this week. I'm not making it on the Sports Den on Tuesday, but please make sure you do watch that. That's a great show. I know that Scott's really going to hit up a lot of sports stuff we talked about here and even further in depth. If I get bored, I stop in and bother Brandon, but I like to just do the selfish 76er games, but we'll see. Maybe I'll pay a visit to Brandon.
My basketball games for all you guys they're always open invite, open door policy. Come on in. You want to show up for one play? Go ahead. The whole game, you're more than welcome to. Always good to work with you guys as usual.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. And then you can, of course, find my amazing podcast, Drinking from the Garden Hose. You think this is some cranky men. That show is literally cranky old men in training, complaining about things. My podcast partner, Ed, blew my mind. I tried to totally flip him up on our last episode. I said, hey, let's, in the episode, did not prep him. Let's talk about the royal family because they were making news. And, what do you think about the royal family? And Ed shocked me with his encyclopedia knowledge of the royal family. So you can go ahead and check out Drinking from the Garden Hose. Ed Saved the Queens, our most recent episode. Give that a listen. And that drops on Fridays for the most part. So for Stream Punk Entertainment, that's D. That's D. There's Brandon. We appreciate you guys joining us for the hour. Have a good night. Talk to you.